Hello, my name is Jonathan, and today we are going to look at units within the English system. The standard unit for length in the English system is a yard. Other units in the unit system, from small to large, are inches, feet, yards, miles. Converting between these can be a bit tricky as they do not use the power of 10 system that the SI system does. 12 inches are in 1 foot, 3 feet are in 1 yard, and 1,760 yards are in 1 mile. Unit analysis looks a bit different here, but it is in the same basic concept that we used in our video with the SI or metric system.
Now it's time for a little game of fact or fiction. The question today is, are there 1,058 feet in a mile? Fact or fiction? You can pause the video here to think about it for a moment. And the answer is fiction. There are actually 5,280 feet in 1 mile. If you think about the fact that there are 1,760 yards in 1 mile, this statement is impossible because a yard is longer than a foot, right? Did you guess correctly? Well, thanks for joining us on Fact or Fiction today. Now we're going to take a look at the real life view of what these units look like. Let's take a trip to the baseball stadium.
Today we are in the Alabama Baseball Stadium. We are going to take a look at different things related to baseball and see how long they are in units. We are going to compare everything in a very similar way as we did with the SI unit system.
First, let's get an idea of what an inch looks like. This is the length of an average sized bottle cap, and it is equal to exactly 1 inch in diameter. Let's talk about the size of a bat and the size of home plate in terms of inches, feet, and yards. So we know that this bat is equal to about 31 inches, which is about 2.5 feet, which is almost a yard. We know that home plate is equal to 17 inches, which is about a foot and a half, and about half of a yard. So if we know that this is equal to 2.5 feet and this is equal to 1.5 feet, we know that the length of home base should be a little bit over half of the length of the bat. If we look at our example here, you can see that home base is, in fact, a little bit over half the size of the bat. A foot looks like. A foot is equal to 12 inches. If we look at the side of home plate on the diagonal, we can see that that's equal to 12 inches. So next time you're thinking about what does a foot look like, you can think about that. Refreshing. So, since we know that this bottle cap is equal to 1 inch, and we know that this baseball is equal to 2.5 inches, the length of 2.5 of these bottle caps is going to be equal to 1 diameter of the baseball. Okay, so let's see how far I was able to hit the ball. So if we take a look, we can see that the ball landed about halfway between home base and the pitcher's mound. Now, we measured this out to be about 27 feet. 27 feet is equal to about 9 yards.
The distance between each of the bases is about 90 feet, or 30 yards. This means the distance to run a whole home run around all 4 bases is about 360 feet, or 120 yards. Since we know that 1 mile is 1,760 yards, or 5,280 feet, we know that it would take 14.7 home runs to run 1 mile. Let's take a look at what it would look like to run a mile around the baseball bases. How fast do you think you could run a mile?
Thanks for joining us today at the Alabama Baseball Stadium, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the U.S. customary system.